right. Hey, everyone. Happy New Year. And now a not so fun farewell to 2020.
Yeah, that sums it up.
Welcome to Christian Warrior Talk here at Patriot Crusader Mission. We wanted to come to you live today and kind of talk about, our plans for this next coming year, check in on how you guys are doing, talk about any plans you have, but mainly talk about our 90-day challenge that starts on Monday.
Yeah.
All Monday. That means all the good yum-yums are all gone.
Enjoy the weekend, baby. Guess who's having Chinese for dinner tonight?
Chinese food for dinner tonight because I ain't going to have it for 90 days. Oh, man. So, and I haven't had it for a while, so got to get those carbos while I can. But I hope everyone had a happy New Year last night and got to celebrate it with friends and family. We went over some friend's house last night, and, we've had a tendency to kind of hermit. We have a baby.
Can't really call her a baby anymore, but it's been a good excuse.
Well, isn't she a baby until she's like a teenager?
We are in toddler status.
Yeah, so we have a toddler, which is even worse.
Yeah.
Babies are just blobs that you just plop around in their little carrier.
Toddlers are little demon people.
Yeah.
Not ours.
So, what is something... before, well, actually, we'll wait for a couple more people to come on.
Do you want to keep talking about our night?
Yeah. So anyways, we had amazing steak and potato dinner last night with our friends Mike, over Mike and Jan's house, and Lou and Carol. And it was really amazing, had some great fellowship, a lot of wine. I definitely, the Trump wine went down first.
Yeah. That was our contribution to the
Then the
evening.
lesser wines started coming out, and man, if you
gotta
haven't
dull the
tried,
senses.
not to be a commercial for Trump wine, but if you haven't tried any of Trump Vineyards wine, it's owned by Eric Trump, and it is amazing.
It's great wine.
It's really good stuff, and they're such a classy, awesome organization. They're actually clients of one of our other companies, just great to work with. Yeah. Kerry, who runs the vineyard, is one of the best people on the planet. She spoke at the Republican National Convention, opened it, I think, in 2016.
Yep.
Just really well put together and just a great person overall. And her team loves her. And imagine running, as you get, everybody... you can imagine the hassle of owning anything with a Trump on it right now.
Yes.
Particularly in a liberal place like Charlottesville. But she's done a great job dealing with it. They're a phenomenal place. And, they're Blanc de Blanc, which is a sparkling white red. It's made from red grapes.
No, Blanc de Noir.
I thought it was Blanc de
Blanc
Blanc.
de Blanc is their white one, and Blanc de Noir is their red one.
Okay. So but they're both clear. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's sparkling. They just take the skins out. It's just fantastic. I, was not a white wine drinker. But when we went over there and we were courting them as clients, they brought out like all these wines.
That was the best sales meeting
I ever had. I left there buzzed out of my mind.
Yeah, he's like, you're driving.
It was just a really good time. And they got me really hooked on some of their whites.
Yeah.
But I love their cab, and I love their New World, whatever it is, red.
Reserve. The New World Reserve.
Reserve is really good. So anyways, I don't know how we got started talking on wine, but
that's what we were drinking last night.
Yeah. So,
and Baby B put on, she was a party animal, like the best of them. She put on quite a show at the end. She was beyond bedtime tired.
Yeah.
And that gave her like this burst of crazy energy. And, she was doing spinnies all around the room. She was doing trust falls to everybody, just running up and throwing herself backwards at people. She had a great time. She's a good guest.
And from being an anti-kid guy, meaning I haven't been a kid lover throughout my life, and I would have been like cringing the fact that there were damn kids in the room
at a New Year's Eve party.
New Year's Eve party because I was so selfish. I really felt like she added to the environment last night.
We're biased, but I think that the other people enjoyed
everyone
her
was
too.
laughing and having such a good time with her. It was really, really cool. So, sound off and chat and let us know how you guys.
Sure, New Year's looked a little
how your
different
New Year's
for most
was.
people.
I mean, it was probably different than most, but let us know. And if you can hear us on out there, let us know as well.
Brandy has said hello. Thanks for joining us, Brandy. Happy New Year.
Happy.
Do you have any hopes and dreams for 2021? I got a little annoyed with how people played so much into the worst year ever, 2020, and there was ornaments that were like F 2020, and it's like that to me just takes it too far. And it's like I think people brought themselves down by focusing so much on that and playing so much into it.
Yeah.
There really was some good that happened in 2020, and I think that's what people need to focus on in the same way that we always need to. It's so much easier for us to look at our trials than our blessings, especially when we find ourselves in the midst of a trial, which 2020 was an extended trial for a lot of people. You can still find the blessings on a daily basis, and I think that would really change people's perspective. And it's a good exercise for people. And I hope people can look back with that perspective to 2020.
Right.
And also bring that into 2021.
Well, let's do that now. So no matter when you watch this, put in the comments something that you are thankful for from 2020. Mm-hmm. Let's do a gratitude exercise. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to lead the way on this. The only way to lead. Something I am grateful for was getting rid of all of the distractions. The fact that COVID-19 and the lockdown helped me cut out all the nonsense. Mm-hmm. Whether it was any sports, I don't watch any sports anymore. If it's an adult playing, I refuse to watch. I'll watch kids, or any of that stuff, but it's that's about it. So getting back to family and really, the culling of all the fake friends and all the people who really weren't important in your life, because during this time, particularly with how much our businesses took heavies, we found out who our friends were right away.
Yeah. They
were the people who were running to the fire of our life of, holy smokes, we're in crisis. Our business is down like 6,000%.
Yes.
And, our friends were there to catch us when we fell.
Yeah.
And, really let us know what relationships we should be investing in.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's something that you were grateful in 2020?
I think that, we had this whole, and we still kind of are debriefing it on, was it supposed to happen? Did we screw up the whole move to Maine thing?
Yeah.
I am grateful that COVID kind of initiated, right or wrong, in the end, it initiated this move to Maine, which ended up being temporary, but it did give my parents the summer with B in an amount of time that they would not have had before if we were still here. They would not have seen her nearly as much. So I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful. It's been extremely hard, the financial hit that we've experienced from Trident Shields, or kind of the more corporate-based
risk
business of ours, and how much that just deteriorated as far as our pipeline and money and all of that.
To explain what we do there, we're a risk management company that does a lot of training, workplace violence training. When there are no workplaces open, you don't.
The workplace violence is not a concern right now when people are working from home.
Obviously, it was a catastrophic.
Yeah, but that has caused us to have to pivot and kind of rethink things, and that allowed for the birth of Patriot Crusader Mission, which I think both of us believe is our future. Feels right for us. It's been a blessing to be able to explore this in a way that we wouldn't have if Trident Shield had just continued on as it was.
Yeah, when Trident Shield, 2019 for Trident Shield was literally our best year. We were projecting, 5X of what
we had finally kind of gotten over that hump of the startup small business to being, okay, we've got this.
Yeah, and we were going to crush it. And because of that, we were not very bold in our, it prevented us from doing Patriot Crusader Mission.
It's the nature of the business in that, we are working with corporations who do not want to know our personal opinions. Mm-hmm. And as the political atmosphere was ramping up and everything that's happening in the country was going, you especially were having such a hard time biting your tongue on that.
I couldn't sleep
at
night.
And it was starting to creep into kind of how you interacted via Trident Shield. And we were starting to ride the line there. And so with being able to, with Trident Shield kind of taking a back seat this past year, that really allowed you to explore and share your voice a lot more. And I think it's blessed other people. And I know that we truly believe that we are doing what God wants us to do through this.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of shows say this, but, our audience means so much to us and the relationships that we're developing. And because we're tiny, we're a tiny show. Mm-hmm. This show has not made a cent. It hasn't caught on like we hoped it would. Like we don't have thousands of thousands. But, at the same time, I've had I have listeners calling me on my personal phone when they have problems.
Yeah.
Or they need support. We developed such an intimate relationship with our audience who support us, right? Like Brandy and others. And that it really has enabled us to form real friendships online.
Yeah, it's authentic, and when you're authentic, you can't go wrong. Whether it gets big or not, whether it makes a lot of money or not, you can't go wrong when you are being true to yourself and true to God. And I think that this has given us that.
Right. And it's been so healthy for us because the lifestyle that we want to live as Christian warrior protectors, guardians of everything around us is making us more accountable in all that we do. It's making us, if we want to be real, which we refuse to be fake, we have to be in the Word every day. Mm-hmm. We have to be working on our relationship all the time. We have to be hitting the gym. We have to be walking the walk. And, which of course, when you do all those things, your life gets better.
Yes.
And then being able to take people with us through this is the really exciting part of the 90-day challenge that starts on Monday. So
as we continue, I'd love to hear, we've shared what blessings that we have found through the struggle of 2020. So if any of you want to share as we continue on with our conversation, anything that...
So some comments here. Really enjoy your interrelating conversation. It's great. Thank you, William. I appreciate that. Brandy, seeing you guys is very much a blessing. We love you as well, Brandy. Jenny Lee Delano, Happy New Year, big or not, Lord God be first, exactly. Yeah. And then, and that's basically it for comments from her. So again, put something in there you're thankful for this year. Some things that I'm also thankful for. The thing I'm most thankful for, if I had to go back, is my relationship with Ken Graves.
Yes.
I can't think of a more impactful relationship on my life as Ken Graves being one of my best friends now.
Yeah.
And, what a blessing. If you guys missed Wednesday's episode, to me, I think it was our best, BLS period, biblical life support, but it was just, it had the most impact on me that I've had in any one of our things, meaning I got so much out of it that it changed my relationship with God drastically.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I was letting God down, and he showed me that that wasn't true, and it rang so true to me.
The question that Jason had posed to Ken in this conversation was, we are led from the Bible to love God basically above all else with all of our heart. And are you sinning against God or letting God down if you don't feel like you can do that because you love your family, you love your wife, your spouse, your children more than that emotion that you feel towards God? And Ken gave a fantastic answer about love as a feeling, which is what you experience kind of towards your loved ones, and then love as devotion, kind of the act of devotion which you give to God, and that you can have both. And I think go find that. I think you're going to separate that answer out as a clip to share.
We're going to take a lot the ones that we think are the best out of that series and just separate out that question so it's like a 10 or 15 minute block or whatever it turns out to be, so you can find it. That's just more editing on mine. Love you guys. Happy New Year. Bless you for your message, Navy Senior Chief says. Okay. Thanks.
Appreciate
William. That, William. So the next, things I want to talk about where we're going in 2021. So on Monday, we start our 90-day challenge. And, it's going to start with, your day will start with a biblical reading plan. We pull it out of the YouVersion Bible plan. It's, there's a 14-day on-ramp that we've done that has been really great for people. There'll be a workout posted the night before. If you don't do my workout, that's fine. I'm just trying to show you guys what works for me as a guy trying to take back his life from injury, from being overweight, from all my challenges, my on-ramp of this, I'm also going to be posting everything that I eat. I'll be in the Under Armour app. I think it's the Under Armour Challenge app. And again, I'll put all this stuff out on Saturday. So you'll be able to track and you'll see how many steps I'm doing. Mm-hmm. You'll be able to see what I ate that day, the workouts, this and that. So you can see where you're at. And if you want to come with me and do that, or you want to do your own thing, it doesn't really matter as long as you're doing something and do what fits for your body and your injuries. The thing that I'm offering up is, we've worked, particularly when Tried and Shield was a gym, in getting and modifying exercise for people with injuries.
Yes.
A person who can't even get on the floor to do a push-up. Mm-hmm. We come up with solutions for them so that they eventually can.
Yeah. I think those are some of the best moments in the gym, where the clients who came in who couldn't get up without assistance off the floor, or they couldn't kneel down to the floor, do a lunge or anything like that.
They were totally handicapped.
Working with them through that and seeing that accomplishment on their face.
Yeah, when they took control of their body.
You did something that most other people would never even, it wouldn't even register that they just, I just did a push-up, or I just did a lunge, or I just got up off the floor. And so seeing people be successful at something that their bodies were not capable of
Mike,
before,
good to see you.
That was the most amazing part, and always my favorite.
Yeah, totally. It was better than the guy squatting 700 pounds or bench pressing, whatever. Those are all great pivotal moments for people, but watching people who've been prisoners of their body, like being overweight or injury-ridden or devolved, as I call it, is you become a prisoner to your body.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
And to watch these people break those chains and take back their body and become functional people doing burpees.
Yeah.
When they couldn't even do a push-up before. So they had to do standing, leaning push-ups against the wall or a box jump.
Their run was a shuffle, and then it turns into a true run.
It was just so awesome to watch them all get full control of their bodies again, and then just become functional people. Now, none of them turned into super athletes or anything like that, but they became functional and they knew they could do it then.
Yeah.
And they had a plan forward to always be functional, and then they could just take that wherever they want to go.
Yeah. So I think, compared to so many of the other kind of fitness programs out there, or the New Year's resolution challenges, you see these people who are already in such great shape.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to relate to that.
Yeah, I want to take my 4-pack and turn it into shredded 6.
Yeah, when you're at a status that's so far removed from that. So I think that's something that for anyone who wants to join us, having you as a mentor, and I mean, you are going to be open and honest with where you are, and you are not starting from that I'm ripped already stage. So it's much more of kind of the buddy system versus you're up here on your pedestal and telling everyone to be like you.
Yep.
So Mike has comment about 2020. God bless 2020 in so many ways: marriage, health, business, new employees, catalyst, fellowship, friends, etc. Just wonderful. The heck with Corona. God wins all the time.
Awesome.
Thanks for sharing, Mike.
Yeah, awesome, Mike. No matter, so Jenny said, what do you have for an old lady with cancer, 3 strokes, etc. for exercise? I was walking about 10 miles a day until about a month ago. What say you? I say you do what you can do. The key is staying in motion, right? So the key is, working with your health providers and not just surrendering. Because it's easy to start a pity party and to sit on your couch and do nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So it's about staying moving. It might be walking laps around your house. And then maybe it's walking laps around your house with a weight vest on, or carrying 2 cans of soup, or whatever. And you're working on grip strength, which is so vital to life.
Well, I think it's kind of doing an inventory of your body too, saying, okay, so which body parts have been impacted by the strokes, by the cancer, and what still has a little bit more capability, and starting there too, whether it's, people who are having lower body issues, there's arm bikes, or there's things that you can do that's just upper body or one-sided versus you needing both limbs. So there's often always something that you can do. Now, and it's finding that to start.
Yeah. And then the challenge now is with the lockdowns with gyms and all that, and a lot of people don't have a lot of equipment. So again, it's finding what works for you. There are so many programs out there that are body weight only, military calisthenics, and all that stuff that you can do and go explore if those are your limitations. But to be honest with you, there's nothing better than, as a basic exercise than walking. Like when my back goes out, I'm getting my 2 hiking, ski poles, and walking is sometimes the only thing I can do.
Yeah. So Janie Lee said her health providers have been out since COVID, which, how frustrating is that? But,
right.
If you want to private message us and if you're interested in doing this program with us for the 90-day challenge, you can certainly message us, and Jason can probably offer some suggestions as a starting point.
The key for you, Jenny Lee, is going to be moving again. And I don't recommend you go walk 10 miles out the door, 5 miles out, 5 miles back. It's going to be racking up that step count in and around your support structure. Right. So with your cell phone around your house where you can get to things, going out, particularly if you have balance issues because of your stroke, getting something and walking with either it's a cane or like the 2 canes that I have when my back's out, to make sure that you have that level ground that you're not going to trip and fall and hurt yourself. So again, those are the things that once you can start getting bored with those, now you can start adding things, and you can do, push-ups against the counter, your kitchen counter, to develop that upper body strength, and, leans against the wall and things like that to develop your core strength. There's just as long as you can get out of bed, right? There's always something you can do.
Yep. And John Boyle has joined us. Hi, John. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, John. So that's part of it. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to do a once a week Bible group, Bible support group, and for the whole thing. And it's going to be, right now we're working on days, and we're going to do whoever participates, we're going to try to find the right day and time for it. Yeah. But we'll come on in and we'll do an hour to 2 hours, depending on how long it takes. I don't want to put a stop time on it, but it's just a place for us to come in with fellowship and share the struggles we have. And those could be struggles with Christ, or it could be struggles with, diet. It could be struggles with your marriage. It could be struggles, whatever. It's just to know that you have a bunch of people who care about you, who are praying for you on there. On the small group, we're going to have a prayer request list where you can literally ask for people to pray for you, and people will sit there and, and let you know that they're praying for you. Right. So, again, we're trying to build this community to be what we think everyone should have.
Yeah. And our plan right now with that is to have it be both men and women who want to participate.
Yes.
Which I know some people might be uncomfortable with, because the very common way of doing small groups is having it be a men's group or a women's group. And I think the big problem with that is often you don't get perspective from what might be going on with your partner, which is very often the topic of conversation for those groups. And so the solutions don't really get brought out from the men's group or the women's group. And so being able to commingle that and get different perspectives that, a men's group is not always going to have the answers as far as what's going on in a woman's mind. Good luck figuring that out. So if
do women know what's going on in women's mind?
Not always. So if when we can join together, I think that's a much more holistic way to approach problems that you're trying to solve.
I think too many churches segregate everything, and they really miss out. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that, and we have some definite advantages by being digital. They don't want to encourage affairs that happen when people are bonding, they're in crisis, they're talking about whatever. But because everyone's remote and because, everyone's not there, that's not even a possibility, really. And there's the macho guys aren't going to share problems that they have or whatever. And I think that everyone in this group is just going to have to get over that, right? We all have problems. We all have dysfunction in our lives, and we all have challenges. And I think the sooner we can get those on the table so everyone can see they're not the only ones with problems.
Yeah.
And then we can all roll up.
And that's certainly not to say that you can't go kind of on the side. If you have an issue as a man that you want to bring to only another man or a group of men or women to women, that would certainly be available. But I think as we want to run this consistent small group, it's going to be the men and women experience together.
Yeah. And again, it's not going to be so much, will we talk about marriage issues? Absolutely. Will we talk about parenting issues? Absolutely. Will we talk about men's issues, addiction to porn and all this and that, or women's issues that you have? And all those things, right? So again, it's going to be life-based, right? Meaning that we're going to deal with life on that as it comes in and as the challenges we have.
So we absolutely encourage bringing your partner in on this.
Sure.
If you as an individual have been following us and having interest in joining this, please encourage your partner to join us as well. I think that would be so healthy for any of the relationships that you have out there in the world.
Without a doubt, because you're going to start communication, right? Happy New Year, Captain Caveman. So as you see here, we're trying to make a really big difference moving forward this year. And we feel like we have to attack this holistically. We can't just sit there and say, oh, I'm going to deal with my weight this year, right? Because that's just an external problem, even though a lot of it is internal and why it's there. We want to make 2021 the best year for everyone, meaning that the biggest priority is getting everyone closer to God.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And, so if you come in and start doing this with us on Monday, and you don't care about the exercise part, don't do the exercise part. It's just a really important part. You got your own thing, do your own thing.
Yep.
Or even if you don't, if you just said, hey, Jay, I really don't feel like doing the exercise part. You don't have to watch the exercise content. You don't have to participate in that. You don't have to share your workout results. You don't do any of that. Skip past that. Go to the Bible readings every day, or go to the small group and the support group and talk about that. Or, say you're not a gun person and you don't want to do the shooting drills or any of the other tactical type stuff that we're going to do. You don't have to. But the things that we're going to go over this year regularly as part of this group is the Bible every day. We're going to go over a workout every day. Even on days off, there's a recovery workout, which might just be walking. Or it might be just stretching that day or whatever, but there'll always be a task to do to move the ball forward.
For any of you women who still pee your pants because you had a baby or 2 or 3, I'm going to be doing a little program I'm trying out to try to fix that personally, because confession, I still pee my pants. I will let you know how that goes. And if it's something that I benefit from, I find it sad, really. I mean, it's kind of accepted that oh, you've had a baby, you're going to pee your pants. And from everything that I understand from kind of researching women's fitness and stuff, it's not a foregone conclusion that you have to live with that. So if it works for me, I will absolutely share that with any of the women who join us, so that you don't have to pee your pants either.
So, if you want to skip the jumping jacks in the beginning.
That was the most depressing thing when the first time I tried to go out, like prostate exercise. Is
prostate's for men? That's for men. And then Michael. Yeah.
No, it's a diastasis recti is what's going on kind of in your core, that when you have a baby that gets all stretched out, and a lot of times those muscles don't come back together and work properly, and then your pelvic floor is what impacts your peeing. So we're gonna fix that.
Notice she's turning purple right now. I don't know if you can see that. And she's about as red as Laura gets. So.
But I will still talk to you about it.
It's not Kegels, Mike. It's different. It might be part of it. Again, I don't know. This is an issue I will not claim to know a single thing about. So I'm going to let Lauren run the pelvic floor girl peeing problem, and I'll handle a lot of the other stuff. Even as a medic and a corpsman and an IDC, I never dealt with any of that stuff. So have at it, Lauren.
Okay. We'll have little pee parties together, ladies.
So the other part we're going to talk about is being dangerous and being a competent protector, which means that you need to be able to handle yourself physically, whether it, and we're going to go over, combatives, whether it be, striking, like punching, boxing type things, or whether it be, some simple chokes, that you might have to do, and some simple, grappling issues that we're going to do. We're going to cover the ones that we think you should have. We're also going to cover improvised weapons, like, how to use a screwdriver as a weapon if you had to, because if it'll work for a screwdriver, guess what? It'll work for a knife as well. We're going to cover all those things because those are all things that I think you have to be able to defend yourself before you can defend anyone else. Mm-hmm. And if your only way of defending yourself is a firearm, then you're always going to use your firearm. Yeah. Which is not
always the best choice.
So Che said truth, Lauren Perry.
Thank you for understanding. Because we are about to hopefully have baby number 2. And got to fix some problems.
Yeah. So those are the things that we're going to go over. And then there will be some shooting drills. We'll recommend you go out and buy an airsoft pistol because that's the easiest, cheapest way to train, right? Get one that's as close to your firearm as you can. And start doing things that you can do every day. Then there's going to be dry fire techniques where literally you can take your normal firearm and just practice doing things with that are going to make you better with it. Not everyone is close to a range or has acres in their backyard or anything like that.
I know I would need to practice drawing.
Right.
Getting it out when I need it, when I'm holding the baby,
right.
Got the diaper bag.
Yeah. We're going to talk about, concealed weapons. Like this here is my concealed carry weapon. And
now is this video not going to be able to be on
who knows? But, that.
It's not a real gun, guys.
Yeah, it is. But,
YouTube.
Yeah. But the main thing about that, my philosophy on concealed carry firearms, which I think everyone should have one, even just carrying around their house, whether they're open carrying it or concealed carrying it, is get the largest gun that you can carry all the time. I like having a gun that fits in my pocket because I know almost everything I have has a pocket. If I need it, I can put it in there. And if I don't do that, it's an easy habit to get out of. So I went years without having a problem doing this. And then during the holidays this time around, from like pre-Thanksgiving to now, I fell out of the habit. And there were times where I was getting ready to go for a walk outside and I didn't have my firearm. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? So I had to turn it back on and make sure that I always have it. And by always having, a firearm on you, you can always be a part of a solution then, no matter what comes up, soon you will need those skills. Yeah, you're right, Captain Caveman. And you're going to, that if the world devolves further, which a lot of people think that it will, you're going to have to defend your family yourself on a pretty frequent basis. So, again, no one knows what the future holds except for God. I'm still holding out hope that Trump's going to be sworn in office on the 20th, and we'll go from there. And we'll, when the animals start going crazy again and burning and looting and doing all that, we'll all have to band together and deal with that. Between now and then, you better make sure you have, 3 months of food in your house, period. Food and water for 3 months. Yep. Have faith. Exactly, Carol. Exactly. So are there any questions on the type of things we're going to do? Right now, I'm looking at some exercise databases because, there's a lot of things in there a lot of people don't do. And the last thing you want to do is, I'm sure as anyone wants to watch me exercise or do my warm-up. Lauren, we were thinking about filming Lauren doing some warm-ups and stuff like that.
Not jumping jacks.
But, so we, as far as for the exercise portion of that, there's some databases out there on YouTube. Anything I do, I'll make sure I have a link, or else we'll just have to suck it up and film our own, depending on how many people do it. Now, if no one's doing the workouts, I'm not going to waste hundreds of hours recording, editing, and putting it up there. But if people are liking it and want to do it, well, then I can see us doing it. Mm-hmm. Again, we'll feed whatever people are participating in. And if they're not, then we just, if the workouts are something that people are not enjoying all that much, we'll just do it ourselves and we'll curate it for us. Yep. JP and LP, I have some old guns. Is there a website I can look for those serial numbers to see if guns belong to my mom, dad, or my grandparents? That's something I don't know. I can't tell you that, Brandy. I have no idea. This will all be so what we're going to do is patriotcrusadermission.com is up. It's up and it's raw right now, and I'm trying to get it done by Monday for this launch. So we'll be posting everything there and sharing it to our Facebook group. Right now, historically, our Facebook group has been for people who have contributed to Patreon and our subscribers for YouTube. We're going to open it up, for the first 30 days for anyone to come participate for the first 30 days. And if they want to stick around after that, they're going to have to subscribe. And, we're going to lower the bar. Everyone's going to have access to all content for like $5 a month. We're working on the details of that. And if you want to give more, great. We could use it. Business is tough right now. And, and if you can't help us, great. If you can't, that's fine. The best thing you can do for us is share, write a review for us on Apple iTunes for the podcast. This show is on every podcast platform out there, just audio only. And I asked people to do that, and I got 3. Mm-hmm. Right. So, knowing that you can go to Apple Podcast and do that helps Apple recommend us, and it really gets us traction to allow us to grab sponsors and things like that to make a living doing what we want to do, which is doing this with you guys. I'd love to be able to do this full time with everyone. So those are ways you can help: share, comment, and, helping us grow this. We've been stuck at just under 1,000 now for a long time. Mm-hmm. We've been as high as 978 subscribers on YouTube, and then we're down to 971 right now. We dropped people because I don't know if they just weren't into the Christian content. This is all going to be Christian based. We're going to talk about God even in the workouts and everywhere else we go. That's the underlying theme on this. Even are we going to talk politics? Absolutely, because politics are important. That sets the world that we're living in right now, and it's the rules that we all have to play by. Yep. So we're going to weigh in on that, but it's going to be from a Christian perspective. I'm not going to tell people to go out there to jock up and start, doing horrible things. That's not what we're about. Defend yourself, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Defend the innocent, absolutely.
How to prepare your family based on what's going on in the political world.
And then the other thing,
Shay, we'll put out information on the Facebook page as far as where to find all of this content. So access to the group and the website.
Yeah. So there'll be a question on there. Are you a YouTube subscriber and or are you a member of a supporter from the Patreon page? If you answer yes to either one of those, you'll be in. Mm-hmm. Right. So, and then that's where everything's going to be. And, I really want to share in the victories with you guys. And I really want to hear your side of the story on how things are going for you and where things break down. Mm-hmm. Right. And again, I'm not trying to say that we have the answers. I'm only going to show you what works for me and what works for Lauren and how we're moving forward with this. You guys may come up with some things that work for you that are better than what we do, and we might adopt it. Mm-hmm. So again, just don't be afraid to share. And don't be afraid to, again, share your victories and your defeats. Like, what is not working? Mm-hmm. We're going to have stuff that doesn't work. We're going to have people with injuries that it's going to be really hard to train around.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have people who just whine and look for an excuse for everything. And we're not going to accept the excuse. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, we'll just keep going. Mm-hmm. You got to keep going. There's only one way to guarantee that you're never going to get any better, and that's to quit.
100%.
If you quit, you're not going to ever get better at anything. Mm-hmm. So you got to just stay in the fight, and you got to continue to push the boundaries, and you got to continue to hold in there. And that's having a support group like we want Patriot Crusader Mission to be, a support group for you in your walk with God, a support group for your marriage, a support group for your relationship with your kids, a support group for working out and getting in better shape, a support group for, finding good common sense, firearms, safety, tactical, combative information. And guys, when I think there's somebody better out there, if I see something, like, I'm not going to be able to take everyone to level 10 on all these things. Mm-hmm. The show is too diverse for that. If you really want to get super great, like if you're already burned through all the stuff that we're doing with firearms and you want to go take it to the level 20, then I'll recommend somebody for you for that. If, your marriage is still struggling after what we're doing, we will direct you in a place where we think that would help you, mm-hmm. because we can't make it all about your marriage. Mm-hmm. We can't make the whole group about one person.
Yes.
Right? Everyone needs help, and everyone has issues. So we got to make sure that we're spreading that time around, mm-hmm. right? In the beginning, that's usually not an issue because it's usually really small.
Yeah.
But as the group grows, we may fragment into multiple meeting times and places, and we might cap it. So to say, hey, we're going to limit it at 20 or whatever. And then the next one will be, the other one will cap it at 20 and so on and so forth. It'll be first come, first serve, just so we can have that intimate relationship. Because sometimes they can get too big and then it becomes too cumbersome to get to everyone. And you don't get that tight relationship with everyone. Mm-hmm. I only have Facebook and YouTube, no fancy phone or apps. You don't think you need a fancy phone or apps, everything that you're going to...
Yeah, as long as you can get to our Facebook group, which you'd be able to, or if you have that, I'm assuming you have access to the internet as far as getting to a website. So that's all you would really need to be able to get to our content.
So is there a link you can share?
That's why I already answered Shay on that one.
Okay, that's the one who did the pelvic floor.
Shay, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm getting caught up because I've been talking. I haven't been reading chat. So as I come in here,
we're good. All right, we're good. Hi, Dave. Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year, Dave. Hope everything's going well with your CrossFit gym and all your family and everything else. I hope all's well there. So, what are some of the goals that you guys want to do this year? Like, what's the number one thing that you want to work on in 2021? That's something I'd love to see. Mm-hmm. Everyone's got different goals and what they want to do. My number one goal is I want to deepen my relationship even further with God.
Yeah. I'm similar in that I want to own my relationship more with God. As far as
explain that own. Ooh, I like that. You took ownership of that.
I was an atheist up until the last couple years, and kind of all of my family and relationships that I had kind of before this new group of friends knew me as that person. And I'm very, as I said this to you the other night, I'm out and proud Christian with my new group of friends who are Christian. I have not taken that same level
still in
of
the closet.
confidence. I haven't come out of the closet. Clearly, like I haven't hidden it, but I haven't also owned it and really speak passionately about it. I don't share Christ with that group of people who really need it the most.
Right.
And I because I'm still, and this is like my worldly problem, I'm still concerned about what people think of me in a way that I shouldn't. So I want to own being a Christian more. That's my goal for this year.
That's awesome. I'm so proud of you. You know, I know you talked about that, and I didn't think that you'd put that out there right now. That's
what it's about.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we'll all be here. I think you guys agreed to support you in that. I know that people further along in this journey may have some advice in coming out of the closet as a Christian. So that love to hear your advice for Lauren, particularly talking to people who are pretty hostile. Some of them are pretty hostile towards religion, and I know that I was.
Yeah, I think they just won't understand it, and I think especially, it's always hard when you are vocal about something that's the counterpoint to where you are now. It's kind of hard to. It's not eating crow to change in a way that accepting Christ is, but to come back and be completely opposite of your position from before. It's something that I personally need to overcome, because I should not care what they think over what Jesus is and thinks.
Yeah, exactly. So. Well, it's going to be great to see that. So we've got some others up here. We've got some serious ones, and then we've got some funny ones.
Scroll up a little bit, because Dave Vaught shared some of his goals for the year.
Yeah, Dave said he wanted a better relationship with his daughters. Dave, that's a very noble calling, and I really hope and pray
he
for that. He
expanded on that, saying the divorce has been rough on them, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. And certainly, we want our program and stuff to help build families and bring healing to families. So. You're certainly not alone in that, Dave. I'm sure that other people here have had similar experiences with their families and divorce and all of that.
Yeah, and then we have, Happy New Year from Adventures of SCO and Jen. Happy New Year to you. Full Surrender to the Lord from Brandy Hip. Captain Caveman said, I should don't know what that is. The best goal from Patient Zero. I think he was complimenting on I think what I said, that or someone there. Scott Parrish, who's a high school friend, said get a cross neck tattoo. That's really, wow, Scott, you got like the lowest barrier out there. You can go get that today. And then you've accomplished the whole year. Yeah, you can have your goal done today, not even a day through the new year. Never be ashamed of God, exactly. And I think that's what she's working through. Jay said get back into shape, which is less similar to a circle.
More of a vertical rectangle. That's the goal?
Randy said remove the hat-hearted living. King Cotton, hey guys, I hope everyone had a happy new year. Hey Ken, good to see you. That's me. Scott and Jen is SCO Jen. Okay, great. All the more I write with God.
Get more right with God.
Get more right with God, and have my boyfriend get his faith.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a great, noble goal. Yeah. Scott's, I love you. My resolution goal is to read a book a month. Well, that's awesome. Great. Wow.
Do you have any particular content that you're hoping those?
Comic books don't count, Scott. Picture books don't count either. Well, part of what we do in the small group is going to be where you're going to be able to write these down. We're going to basically as part of the program, we're going to ask you to put 10 things you want to accomplish in 2021. And then, and then to deliberately pursue progress in all those 10 things. And see what we can do. See how many we banged out at the end of 90 days, if there's any. And then, after 90 days, refocus, keep going and see if we can get the top 10 things checked off everyone's list. So Jen is on the SCO Jen account. We close on our house sale. Jan 15, we become homeless RVers. Oh, sorry, we missed the beginning. I didn't know you had a topic. That's all right, Scott. No problem at all, brother.
Would love to hear your RV experience. We were so close to that.
We were that close to doing it, Scott.
We went and looked at the RV. There's some nice RVs out there. I was so surprised. But still,
the dogs
fitting 3 dogs
an
and a baby and a business. It's still a little tight fit.
The part of the RVing that bummed us out was when we started looking at the RV parks, we were picturing big lots where we could go play because our house is a box. Yeah. And we saw that they were little tiny
lots. You're like in a parking lot.
You're basically living in a parking lot where everyone can hear you burp and fart and everything else. And we're like, you know what?
Our dogs
we got to find a way to do this.
No. Someday.
Yeah. Accountability.
When a dog or two dies, crosses the bridge.
Yeah, the Rainbow Bridge.
It might be a little easier to go on that trip.
Every morning we wake up and we're like, is anyone?
One day closer. We love our dogs.
We love
one
our
day
dogs,
closer.
but holy smokes, 3 dogs, including 1 Mastiff, is a massive problem. That would be tough with children on and pets.
Some do. Yes, they do.
Yes,
but I'm not sure what the size of dogs.
Yeah. And we were looking at fifth wheel. Just because, you don't want to be towing 15 cars to do everything. So, we figured that. We looked at the ones that have like the garage in the back. It was really cool. It was really exciting. I'm not saying I'd love to take this show on the road and do that.
Yeah. So I'd be curious what you think of this as a show idea. We were going to go around to different towns all around the country and set up kind of weekly interviews with pastors.
Yeah.
And kind of people within the church all around the country. Like all the Ken Graves that are out there.
Yeah.
Interviewing them.
Yeah,
which was a really cool idea. So hopefully
we wanted to travel around, talk to churches, go through different training programs and review, HIT, Gunsight, HIT, some of the other more Tiger Valley and some of the other training places, and tell you what we thought, as well as hitting some churches and interviewing some thought leaders out there. So we really want to. Hey, OXAO, we'll definitely see you in DC. I'll definitely see you in DC.
Are you going?
Yeah, I'm going. So
on the 6th.
On the 6th, we'll be in DC. I'll take pictures again, film some stuff. Also won't be staying to the end because I'm not stupid and I'm not going to get wrapped up in Antifa, BLM, counter protests and all that stuff. So I recommend everyone get out of there pretty early. And then, whatever. Travel sounds great, but it has its challenges. We have a small 22-foot motorhome right now. Yeah. So, we went last time. We had no issues, and we got out of there right in time. Ended up going out to dinner, having a great night afterwards. In Tyson's Corner, very far away from downtown DC. Yeah. Have to clear my schedule. Well, Mike, I know you just had a knee replacement. I don't know.
Do you want him in your group?
I don't know if I want you in my group,
all the love to Mike, but not very useful right now, Mike.
Flight over there bothers me a lot. I'm not sure if they will force me to stay for 10 days or not. Holy smokes. Yeah, if they make you stay for 10 days, that'd be terrible, man.
Is that because of quarantine stuff right now and traveling state to state? I heard some crazy stuff, like with Massachusetts. Someone my mom knew, they traveled from Massachusetts to Maine and back to Massachusetts, and they got a fine in the mail because the car plate through Easy Pass tracked them that they had traveled, and they did not go and get a test, and somehow they knew that she had not
Big
gotten
Brother
a
stuff right
Big
there.
Brother was, and so she had got a huge fine.
What was the fine?
A lot of hundreds of dollars.
Wow.
For not quarantining. So it was like somehow they knew that she didn't quarantine. I don't know. It was like some creepy.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
If that doesn't tell you the world we live in right now with something I'm not even going to go down my COVID rant. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So Brandy is being very vulnerable here and open. Removed my anger issues, quit arguing with Tamara. She took Jason's advice and recorded my anger issues. In trouble with Tamara and double trouble with God. I can be a troubling mess. My fault. Yeah, there's nothing more, when somebody records you when you're acting a fool and you can go back and look at it with a cool head, there is nothing that'll cut you deeper to the bone and expose what a jerk you are when you're acting a fool than somebody recording you and you getting to watch that. Mm-hmm. That's
Thank you for sharing that, Brandy.
Yeah, thanks, Franny.
And recognizing it and owning it is definitely the first hugest step in fixing it. So I think we're all confident that you can.
So Jenny Lee put a helpful link called thehealthyamerican.com. She helps with fines, etc. So I don't know if that, was this your mom or was this?
It was someone that she knew through the barn.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, record it. That really does make a difference. Thanks, Jenny Lee, for sharing that. Yeah, I mean, we're just in such a big brother world right now. It's just, and then that's part of the things we're going to start covering topics is how to get more off grid. There's a level of reasonableness that you can do to get as much as that's, convenient or slightly inconvenient off grid to remove how much you're being tracked and observed. And then there's the all-consuming people who just that's their life. They want to live off grid, and kudos to them for doing that and whatever. But that's not what we're doing.
Scott, we met at his gym. That's the cliche story. We met at the gym.
Yeah.
Met at Trident Shield.
Yeah, well, there's so many abs are made in the kitchen. They absolutely are. I just find that with recipes, Jay, everyone has such different tastes and such different needs. So Lauren has a lot of unique challenges. You want to go over the dieting challenges you have, and I'll go over some of the challenges I have.
Well, I have celiac disease, so I can't eat gluten. Like zero gluten, and some other food sensitivity issues that make my body not appreciate when I eat dairy. So I am generally gluten-free, dairy-free. And so I try to eat, I eat paleo-ish is when I feel the best.
Yeah. And
and he's like, vegetables, yuck. So we have a hard time. I cook in the house and I have a hard time satisfying my taste.
Well, when I'm on a seafood diet, everything I say I eat, I'm easy day. Uh-huh. It's when,
But you're not like, I'll do like the one pot, like I'll cut up some sweet potato and some chicken and some spinach and I'm like good to go. And you're like, ugh. Where's the sauce? Where's the, it's like,
yeah.
Where's the cheese?
There's no, like salt, never even saw the thing, and I'm just like, I need some salt. I need some stuff. So
gluten intolerance is absolutely a thing. It's not fake. I'll tell you, it's not fake.
Yeah. So
and even Jason.
Yep.
He eats gluten-free a lot because of me. We can't really have it in the house just because of the contamination issues. But sometimes, he'll, around holidays especially, like he has his counter and he can make his sandwiches and eat real pasta and stuff. And from going from being relatively gluten-free as a lifestyle to lots of gluten,
my joints hurt like holy heck.
Consistently after those, you'll always comment about your joints.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
spinach, yuck. Spinach, yum.
Spinach is great, man. Even I like spinach. What are you talking about?
Sauteed garlic in there.
Cream spinach, right? Cream spinach is the best. It's one of the best sides.
He likes his vegetables when you can't find the vegetable.
Rambo Boyle said, who's John Boyle. Wife and I met in the gym. I was the best looking dude and the most fit, obviously. Yeah.
Obviously,
He was probably eating a Snickers bar at the same time, knowing John.
with his schmedium shirt.
Yeah, with his medium
leaving
shirt.
so
and
much to the imagination.
And his pink shorts. John, you're the best, man. Especially
said,
baby
that is a
spinach.
catch.
Yeah.
Right there. That's a catch.
I wonder if you had your 70s porn mustache on at that point as well.
Probably. Rebecca has that. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Good taste.
So Lauren has confirmed, Celiac, she had tubes go both ways.
If you know what we mean. The problem, this one wasn't necessary. It was this one that diagnosed. This one was just for fun, I guess.
Poor shy Lauren going in there for that. I was there for it.
And I had a female GI doctor, and I was like, okay, this is fine. And I go in there, and who comes in but some male, this is a teaching hospital, and some like little dorky dude comes in, snapping the glove. He's like, okay, I'm going to be doing your procedure today. And I was like,
She was horrified.
what? I picked a female for a reason.
Yeah. Did you just beat yourself laughing?
No. Oh, my Lord. No.
You have.
If I sneeze, then you can ask.
Oh, yeah. Lauren had both upper and lower.
Yeah.
So,
Several times. Oh, gosh.
not cool. Not cool.
You've never had your colonoscopy. You're coming up on it.
I am. We'll see
That
about that.
drink, holy smokes, because I can't chug anything.
Yeah,
That was the
Lauren,
worst.
that's another-
You're supposed to be able to drink it and then have like 15 minutes before your next class. And it took me the entire 15 minutes to get through it, and then I had to start all over again. It was the worst.
Why can't you chug anything? It's like you got like a medical condition?
Oh my God, I just can't.
She starts gagging on like the second or third swallow.
can't.
It's and it's funny because her mom, to her horror, was the keg stand champion for University of Ohio, and she's like this big, like this tall,
yeah.
and
And
Lauren
she doesn't
didn't get
drink
that.
at all anymore. Yeah, I did not get the whole. Never mind.
Oh man. Well, hey everyone. I'm really looking forward to what we are gonna, go this journey that we're gonna take and this challenge we're gonna do coming in 2021. All of you, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and or do the Patreon page to get access to the group, and then I'm going to start posting in there. You should start seeing stuff getting set up and templates and all that stuff going into that group. And that's where we're going to run the community from. And again, all the articles will be posted, curated on patriotcrusadermission.com. The other thing is start looking for instructional content coming forward. This is our talk show, which we've, you might have noticed some of the names bouncing around out there. But this is Christian Warrior Talk is going to be the show, and it's hosted on our channel, which is Patriot Crusader Mission. And then we're going to have some training stuff. You're going to start seeing some, combatives and the shooting drills and, how to clear your house and, how to, set your car up to be successful in case you come across one of those ridiculous BLM, Antifa, blockades and all those things. So again, I really, really appreciate every one of you. Thank you for spending your New Year's Day with us here, and I look forward to all of us growing and in our lives coming here in 2021. So God bless each and every one of you. I'm going to pray us out right now. So dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you. We thank you for getting us through 2020. Lord, we thank you for all the countless blessings that we did not think of when we were in 2020. And now that we can look back in hindsight and thank you for making family so important, Lord. Lord, we ask you to bless us going into 2021 and to take this group of people that we have here and give us the courage to be open and honest with one another, Lord, to invest in each other's lives going forward, and to help us grow closer to you and to living lives to the fullest in the healthiest way. We pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. See you on Monday. All right.